and Nordo, this is the Y'all Don't Know Football guy. This is football unrelated. I tried to get through on the initials game this morning, and I was going to guess PA. I promise. I was guessing PA. Couldn't get through. Never been able to get through. If I would have got through this morning guessing PA, I would have won $122,500. Oh, I'm bummed.
Well, if you're a Powerball person, which I'm not, but don't play the Powerball this weekend because you'll just be throwing money away, which you do in the first place at times. Yeah, sorry about that. $100,000, man. Dang.
Would have been nice. Talkbacks. Hey, another familiar voice.
What up, PA? What up, Nordo? Charles, capital city. Only 30 seconds, man. Just trucking through the great state of Minnesota. Joints, practices, that is. Our squad, Vikes, Ravens, Lamar Jackson. Roller coaster.
Clarified joints.
Hey, man, did you see Miles Price? The video of them just fanning out over Super Freak Moss? Man, I'd have done the same thing. Oh, I'm getting excited, boys. So excited, I need to go to the game tomorrow. So graciously from yours truly, KFAN, and the PA9 to new. Let's go. Let's go.
We got a problem.
What's that?
Because he was going to the game until he asked.
Yeah.
And we just can't set the precedent of if you ask to go and you play on our emotions.
That's right.
And you play on the feelings, just let your clever takes, your witty repartee, and your biting commentary rest on its own merit.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if the rest of the talkbacks just ain't that great, I mean, he's dedicated. He said, okay, let's do this. This is your forgiveness, grace, and mercy leader. So we're going to give him talkback related grace in that he didn't know asking was a fat L in the covenant.
It is.
Well, now he does.
Yeah. But
he's also going to the game.
I think we got to give him.
So, Chuck, Charles, you're super dedicated to the show, the radio station, and your talkbacks are fantastic. So, whenever we got something to give away, please don't ask for it. Win it on merit. But we are now down to 4 pair of tickets to the Vikings and Ravens because, Charles, in St. Paul, you're going to Vikings-Ravens tomorrow. Where, assumedly, J.J. McCarthy is going to start the game against Snoop. The Snoop is on fire. Snoop Huntley. I guess Tyler Huntley's nickname is Snoop.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Talkback machine.
Hey, fellas, this is Richard from Savage. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I can't wait to see Kyler Murray throwing touchdowns to JJ and JA and Juwan Jennings, TJ Hockenfuss. Our running game's going to be superb. Darisaw looked like a monster out there yesterday. Justin Jefferson's going to be on the best season of his career, I feel, as long as Kyler stays healthy. TJ McCarthy's got to be ready to go as well, and our defense is going to be flying. We going to the Super Bowl, I hope.
Rube cred.
You get Rube cred for the talkback, and we'll see where it goes from there.
We'll see where it lands. Talkback machine.
Hey, TA, Nordo, Drew from Blaine here.
What up?
I've got all the confidence in the Vikings this year. I think they're going to win 11 games. I think they're going to finally get their first playoff win under KOC. But what I really want to see is that green and gold team miserable. Just miserable. All season long. And what better place to start than the Purple House of Pain on September 13th? Can I get a skull?
Skull.
Skull!
The Vikings are going to win the first game of the season.
Yes.
I just feel very confident and comfortable given a lot of circumstances. No Micah Parsons, home. I feel quite confident the Vikings will win that game. But see, when you have something to give away, you're going to run into a bevy of people and listeners and fans and rubes and devotees who are going to want to play on the emotions to win.
Yeah.
So, copyright Dan Cole, the common man. If I satiate Barney the Purple Dinosaur, or if I say all the things that I just know Paul and Nordo must be thinking, well, then I'm going to win.
Yeah.
That's not true. But that doesn't mean that most recent talkback cannot get one of the 4 pairs of tickets we have remaining.
You're just going to have to continue to listen.
This is very complicated. I mean, Charles. Well,
Charles is in.
Y'all don't know football guy. He's out of state, I think.
Is he?
I don't know. I think he is, or else he probably would win too. I mean, we'd be down to 6 tickets if y'all don't know football guy.
Well, let me see if I can dig into his intel via the talkback machine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm
just
looking.
Be careful with what you write back. Thank you.
Let me look at.
Hey.
Okay, I don't know football guy.
Y'all don't know football.
He might live in the South. The
I
southern,
think he does.
The Southern twang. So when he started the app, the zip code he used was not local. So, but y'all don't know football guy.
Yeah, but I got friends up there.
Is listening probably all day. So if he is listening, feel free to let us know if you are local and wanted to go to the game tomorrow. But everything's up for grabs, and I'm just going to randomly pick 4 others of you with Charles and at some point later in the show.
And the talkbacks that I established, don't have to be the answers. Maybe Nordo has some talkbacks for the next segment he wants to throw out. Maybe you want to create your own talkback. Maybe it's a dealer's choice. You get into the deck, you pull something out that we haven't been talking about, and you submit it. You file a report, and we see where it goes from there.
See, I'm going to play this next. Talkback here. You've been apologizing almost.
What do you mean?
For bringing up this talker or the fact that it fascinates you and it's a thing, and you apologize for it, but the listeners are just as locked in on it as you are.
What do you mean?
Good morning, PA Royal. William here from Pillager, Minnesota. Just want to get your thoughts on how the Putters did at joint practices on Heckler and Thorson.
I'm sorry. Let's do it again. At how who did? The punters?
The punters.
Okay. Yeah, play it again. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Good morning, PA Royal. William here from Pillager, Minnesota. Just want to get your thoughts on how the Putters did at joint practices on Heckler and Thorson, and who's going to win it, you think? I like Heckler because he has the experience. Thorson, young. He has probably a better leg, but what have you both thought of at joint practices? Thank you, and God bless you both.
Well, we the only way to handle that is to tell everybody we're down to 3 pair. I mean, he went outside of the box. He didn't purposely recognize. Let's see, what can I do to get deeply into the cockles of the host's heart?
He just had a question because he cares.
Hey, Paul low-key keeps talking about the punter situation because he knows it matters. And, Paul in that simulcast from MetLife Stadium, when he uncovered the intel that the Ray Guy Award winner never held at Georgia and was able to share it, there was a level of excitement in his voice. When Justin Jefferson was freaking out over Jug's touchdown, Paul was trying to get a word in edgewise to tell people, everybody has to calm down here, okay? Thorson's holding. Thorson's holding here for this extra point. This is big. And he held for Reichert's second field goal.
Yeah.
So William or Will, I mean, he knew right where to hit. He did not do it to manipulate the strings of the heart. He did it authentically.
He did.
My answer is, I mean, it's real. The battle's real.
So somebody in the text line here had asked this question, and I forwarded said question on to a certain person who was just in studio covering the Vikings at a high level.
That ought to be a fun weekend.
No, can Thorson be stashed under the international pathway program? See, but
he can.
So that lends to the idea
you get an extra practice squad guy.
Yeah, it's the 17th spot.
Yes,
and so
which means one less spot on the plane for yours truly.
If that is true, then maybe the idea, because we heard it from Matt Daniels, we've heard it from others, the experience matters.
Yeah.
And if that is such the case, that maybe Hecker's this year.
Good point.
But then Thorson spends the entire season practicing, holding in those things. And then now, next year, he's your guy. And you can stash him that way. Maybe that leans towards Hecker being the right answer.
Hecker's minus 180.
Hecker's minus 180.
Maybe 220.
All right. I was trying to filibuster while I keep track of these winner information.
I thought you were filibustering to find the the passing punter, the Johnny Pecker bit. That's for some reason, that's what I thought you were looking for.
Well, I think,
their punter's Johnny Pecker, or however I said it when he punted for Carolina.
It might be my next tattoo. You got to be careful with Johnny Pecker.
So Charles in St. Paul.
Yes.
You have 1-2. William with the punter question.
Great question.
You're going to Vikings-Ravens if you are so inclined. Nordo knows how to pay all those bad boys off. We have 3 pair left.
Yes, we do.
And a bevy of talkbacks to run up to the Owl Roofing post-game show. Let's fire some more.
All right. Oh, well, that was fantastic, Eric.
What happened?
Nice work. Hang on.
What happened?
Slight pause, dramatic. There we are. Sorry, Chris.
My name's Chris, 55-year-old Viking fan. This year, with the battle between JJ and Kyler, everybody seems to have planted firmly their flag in the arena of one or the other. We need to get along. We need to start planting our flag for these Vikings. JJ guys need to admit that Kyler is our guy, and we need to back him. And Kyler guys need to quit being threatened if JJ lands in the number 2 spot.
JJ McCarthy is the backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, whether people like it or not. And that's simply, and those of you who have listened to a fair amount of the show today, I was pressed. Alec Lewis has become bulldog journalist all of a sudden, decided to pin me down and be like, all right, well, Kyler gets hurt here and you got to win the game. Who rolls in? Who rolls in to win it? Wentz or McCarthy? And I'm like, at this stage, Wentz. So, but the coach is like, McCarthy's the 2. And then when we're watching these practices, McCarthy's getting everything with the 2s. But, and I'm writing discernment here, the head coach knows exactly what he's going to get from Carson Wentz if and or when he needs to use him.
Yeah.
And here's the case in point. And I got it, I have it on my simulcast calling cards for tomorrow. So if I miss the date here by a day or two, you'll get the gist of it. Carson Wentz arrived in Minnesota last year, like August 24th. All right. So the belief is that he hadn't seen the playbook, or he didn't really know much about the nuance of the plays in the middle zone and everything that makes it good. Well, he had to play like 3 weeks later, 3.5, 4 weeks later. And he crushed Cincinnati and he looked pretty good. So Wentz is smart and he picks up on things fast and he's calm. Carson Wentz is calm. And, it just, the things look different when Wentz is in the game. It's, people aren't having to reach down to their shins to catch passes up by their helmets, like a little behind them or in front of them. Throws people open pretty well. So,
and that's where,
all we can do is ride with what we're hearing and seeing with the head coach and who's getting what and when in practice.
So to the question is JJ getting all of the 2 reps? He'll get the opportunities maybe to start the game tomorrow because Wentz is the more stable pro and he doesn't need the reps.
Right.
And so that lens, I think that's some of the steam behind just trying to read deeply into it and determine who the backup would be because.
No, but see, I mean, with respect, you can't do that unless you call the head coach a liar. That's it.
Why can't you do that?
Because he said McCarthy's the 2 twice.
Well, I mean, we can play the semantics game that he's saying that he's 2 because technically he is 2 and he will start the Ravens game. But then in the end, when the season opens and Kyler Murray being your number 1, that if something was to happen, Carson Wentz would be elevated by the first game day as the number 2 and JJ's the E-bug.
But those aren't semantics. That would be a lie.
It's not a lie.
I mean, depth chart 2, tell media 2, Publix now here's 2. And when you're watching the practices,
he's getting the 2 reps.
If there are 50 snaps to be had, McCarthy's getting 40 of them.
Right.
That all leads to number 2.
Right. So, again, it is semantics, though, because he's physically number 2 on the depth chart, as it is today. and he's getting the number 2 reps.
Bet settled.
So he's not lying about it, but in the end, if the impetus for the 2 and for the 2 reps is to get him more activities to see if he can be the 2 into the season, and in the end, via eye test, all of us are standing here, I think objectively saying that Carson Wentz, if there was an issue, is the better option at this particular moment.
Lots of ifs in there.
Well, it's not. How are there ifs in there?
Next talkback, please.
I just don't know how there are ifs in there, though.
I don't really understand what the conversation is.
Well, you're saying that, but you said that if someone's questioning JJ being the 2, they're calling the coach a liar.
Right.
And I don't see how that is.
Well, because he's not saying he's earning the spot or he's working toward the spot. He's saying he is the spot. Because
he is physically in the spot at this moment.
Right.
So he's not lying about it.
Well, so I'm talking about this moment. I'm not casting my gaze. Like I said, all we can go off is what the head coach is saying now and what we are seeing in practice.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
As of now, if Carson Wentz in a strange situation was say Kyler played tomorrow and then Wentz can't, but that'd be hard to explain because it's a preseason game.
Yeah.
So the coach says this, we are seeing this, there's no debate. Well, as of now.
Yeah. So he, and then that's why I was saying, Samantha, is he is the 2, but all of us, I agreed, when Alec asked the question that I feel that the offense is more stable with Carson Wentz in the mix. And so these reps hopefully help that. And if he's number 2 opening weekend, that it'll be vindicated and justified in doing that.
Well, I'm also not saying that there aren't tentacles to what is shared and what is seen.
Yeah.
So it's, some of the conversations I had when Murray was named the starter. People a lot on social media, but a lot of media members those who cover the team kind of like, well, it never was a competition. Okay. I can't say they're wrong, but I also can say, okay, if it wasn't, then out of a possible 400-ish snaps that were available, you just used about 40 to 50% of them to appease somebody's feelings,
right?
To showcase social media videos to trade. I mean, that's a real slippery slope if you're doing it that way. But it might get us back to exactly what I said, and I think you're intimating, is, well, Carson doesn't need that. He got here late August last year. We played him 3.5 weeks later. Did you miss that game? He was pretty good. So, yeah, I can understand that side of it, but I'm saying if Carson Wentz truly is the backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings right now, and that is proclaimed by somebody into a microphone, a camera lens, or via a newspaper or whatever, then with it, you have to intimate the head coach is a liar.
Okay.
Because that's as of right now.
Yes.
But there are so many tentacles that go on in personnel offices about this needs to be said, this needs to be shown, this needs to happen, so this can happen over here. And they're not required to share everything.
No, they are not.
I'm just going off what the head coach says, who came in first in the last game, who I think will come in first in the next game, and who's getting all of the quote, 2 end quote snaps right now.
And it is JJ.
But so that's 99%. This is the backup quarterback. It's 99. It's not debatable. There are no semantics, and it's a settled bet right now. However, when they go under the cover of darkness, which begins next week, no fans at training camp, not a lot of media inclusion at the practices, things can change. You're also not required to explain why they changed. It could all of a sudden be what you're saying. We're coming up to the Green Bay game, and, well, I mean, you can put Wentz 4th on your depth chart and make him your backup and not tell anybody, and you're not obligated to tell anybody why.
Yeah.
And Kevin and Judd and Dane and Alec and Ben and Emily, they can all get as pissed off as they want. Life goes on. They don't have to explain exactly every single thing they do. So I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying as of right now at this moment. And it's not you. It's things that I hear and things that other people say. Where if you're saying that, then you're also saying that man's a liar. That he's lying into the microphone with what he's saying.
Right.
And I just don't think people have the confidence to do that. We'll be right back.
Paul Allen and 9 to noon on iHeartRadio and FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
From the 1-800...
Of Minnesota Vikings, Baltimore Ravens preseason game tickets to be given away. Games at noon tomorrow, U.S. Bank Stadium. So we got to fly through some talkbacks. We still have 3 pair to give away. I believe punter William has 1, 2.
Yes.
Charles in St. Paul has 1, 2. Well, and maybe some of the other talkback contributors, maybe they're victorious too. Nordo has the entire list over there and the tally and everything. But we still can be overwhelmed with 3 talkbacks if you want to go to the game tomorrow.
To the talkback machine. Let me see here. I apologize that, again, I'm filibustering, but I'm having trouble.
What happened?
Just checking for FCC violations. There we go. Here we go.
I understand.
What's up, PA? Just wanted to jump on here real quick and tell you how excited I am for the Minnesota Vikings season. We are going to be one of the most electrifying offenses in the league. Kyler Murray is going to come back to his MVP form. He has the right tools around him. TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. We are going to win the North and hop on the wagon now because it ain't stopping until we get to the Super Bowl. Skol Vikes.
Yeah, Abbott's trying to ruin the weekend. Honestly, by being kind and making these tickets available. When has Kyler Murray ever been at MVP level? So to return to it, he would have had to been there at some point.
Yeah, was there potentially one of his injury years? He was having an amazing season.
I mean, maybe
the ACL year.
But see, the playing on the hearts of the 9 to noon tandem. I mean, that's what's happening. But see, here's the problem, and the weekend ruiner. Is you don't want to offend people or hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
And well, forget this. I'm not listening to 9 to noon anymore. So I don't know, man. I think I just might leave this whole thing up to you and Abbott.
Yeah, I think that wasn't a bad talkback. Let me listen. How about this one though?
Hey PA, hey Nordo. Mark here, up in Hibbing. Working at Enterprise, out in the wash bay, looking behind the vacuum cleaner. Looking by the suds bucket, I just can't find a Vikings loss. Let's go this year, Skol.
What did the vacuum cleaner have?
He's looking behind the vacuum.
You're going to drive in from Hibbing for the game, or get the tickets and transfer them.
Early birthday gift because our guy's getting a pair right there.
All right, we have like 7 minutes to go before a pause in the Owl Roofing postgame. So I'm going to call out right now.
Okay.
On a Farming Friday to those in the cab of a combine, those out working the farm, and you're part of the Farming Friday covenant, which has been long-standing 9 to noon. Now we got to hear the combine. We know what it sounds like when you're in the cab of a combine because we've done it at a high level.
Yeah.
Free iHeartRadio app. Microphone up to 30 seconds. I'd really like to give 2 or 4 of those Vikings-Ravens preseason tickets to somebody on a Farming Friday.
Okay.
A farmer on a Farming Friday. Lewiston, Minnesota. Go crazy.
Talkback machine.
Hey, this is Cole in St. Paul. I know it's the off season, but just wanted to talk about who? Quinn Hughes. Maybe no news is good news, but can we get an update or something? Come on, Billy. Anyway, I would love to go to the game. Skol Vikes. I'll have my Chris Kluwe game worn on.
I actually have Quinn Hughes' team. I do believe they will sign him.
Ooh.
And I believe it'll be a 3-year deal, which I don't believe is the length the Wild would want. Man, where did I get this and when? Anyway.
Well, I think, yeah, the Wild would prefer to have him for longer term, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and how real it is, we've just seen the conversation. I've seen it all summer, at least from my purview, that, you know, it's when the contracts are up for Brother in New Jersey and all three potentially wanting to play together, et cetera. Like that has been part of the term conversation, but 3 years, I've heard that pretty consistently as well.
Okay, now that last talkback individual wins 2 of the tickets.
All right, sweet.
But here's why. And this is a one-time only situation. Like Charles from St. Paul got grace a half hour ago because he begged for the tickets. We don't give things away when you beg for them. You earn them via merit.
True.
So this happened one time, and it's going to lead to victory. But it can't be that way every time. Played on the advertising.
Yeah.
Who? AlRoofing.com. So he listens enough, even between segments, to the commercials. For the who? Quinn Hughes? You pulled on the right string. And Owl Roofing is a valued member of the covenant. So Steve's Appliances, Continental Diamond, Hoffman Cooling and Heating, Kinmount, Northern Fire, all of you. We love all of you. If you want to be in the mix and get freebies like this, marketing at KFAN.com, write to Lonnie. 9 to noon is your envelope pushing leader. However, we just can't do that with every single talkback.
Right.
However, you were prescient enough, brave enough, clever enough, and forthright enough that you hit the heart. AlRoofing.com. So yeah, you get 2. Now we got 4 left.
All right, so we got 4 out of 5 have been awarded.
They have
1 pair remaining.
Who got the other 2?
Hibbing guy.
Oh, the vacuum cleaner?
Yeah,
got it.
He looked behind the vacuum.
Yeah,
he's looking for the first loss and he can't freaking find it.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing work out there for us and we appreciate it.
Hi, PA Nordo.
Wait a minute, hang on a second. Is that vehicle? This can't be. Is it even the time of year to be using combines? But listen to this hum.
Hi, PA Nordo. This is Lonnie from St. Francis. I've been a Viking fan for 45 years.
You're in.
I want this team to win the Super Bowl so badly. The only thing missing is to bring Harry the Hitman back. And who won't want to hear the box of all boxes say for one more season, starting at safety, number 22, Harrison Smith. Skol.
Fox. You're in.
Skol.
It was some kind of a combine cab. Rochi caught a positive stray. Rochi was in the mix. The Vox of all Voxes, ever to Vox. Welcome to U.S. Bank Stadium. So they're gone.
All right, so
that was that.
Lonnie, Cole,
nice job, Abbott.
Don.
Just lost 6,000 listeners, but gave away 10 tickets.
Yeah, see, there we go. On a Friday when we get credit for the, we do get credit for the talkbacks, don't we? So, let's do this. Let's play, should we play some also rans?
Sure.
Some of those just for the sake of it? All right, talkback.
Good morning, gentlemen. Caleb James from Forest Lake. Just wanted to know what your thoughts were on Jordan Addison this year. I think we're going to really try to get Jefferson the ball after the lack of production last year. Obviously, double teams are going to come, so I think Jordan Addison's a very sneaky pick for having a monster year for us this year. And I guess I just wanted to know what your thoughts were. Hope you boys have a good day. God bless.
Yep, God bless you too. I love him. I think a lot of situations are adding up on and off the field for him to have a very big year. I'm not sure how much he got, doubled in the first place because defenses mix up so much. But if and/or when the running game goes the way they think the running game is going to go to pull coverage off 18, that only pulls more coverage off 3. So yeah, I think he's sitting on Probably 10 touchdowns, maybe a little more, 1 or 2 on the ground, 8 to 10 via the air.
Ooh.
It's 11:43. The postgame is next.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena.
Game at FM 100.3 KFAN, courtesy of Owl Roofing and owlroofing.com. If you missed any or a majority of the show and you just tuned in now, some podcasting touts for you. And here is the con.
Yeah, Charge joining us on a Friday feast and making it a fantasy affair. And here he is when I asked him about Ashton Genty. His sophomore season might be a big one, eh, Charge?
Well, I'm really optimistic, but obviously what we saw last year was a disaster, but not from Genty. He was of all the starting running backs in the NFL, he was the one that was getting contact first, and it was behind the line of scrimmage. The first point of contact for Ashton Genty was -1 yards. It was behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a problem.
What I love about this opportunity with the Raiders for Genty, the improvements on the offensive line, Tyler Linderbaum, the new center, they stole him from the Ravens. That's going to seriously help. Spencer Burford comes in, just competency at the guard position. And then, as you mentioned, Clint Kubiak, just a lot of trust. Another Viking name. A lot of trust in the offenses that he's been able to put together. So, yeah, I still feel like Genty is probably sitting a good season, but we're starting to look, by the way, at his backup. Mike Washington is flashing in training camp and in preseason games, including last night. That kid might actually be a little bit of a problem, and he is a bulldozer. So the presumption is we're going to get the version of Ashton Genty this year we were expecting last year. I've got him at number 5 on my running back cheat sheet.
So, PA, and you mentioned you can find those cheat sheets, I believe, ffworldshow.com, and they're free. Free cheat sheets from Mr. Charchi. And as you mentioned, though, during that segment, he spent 45 seconds telling us how cool that Ashton Genty's going to look, and then just daggers it with his own teammate, potentially vulturing some of the opportunities.
Yeah, with the way Ashton Genty played last year and just that whole outfit, I saw 5th, on the running backs. I'm like, come on, man. So then read up on it a bit more or just thought about it more. And Clint Kubiak is going to run the wide zone scheme. So the Raiders have gone from a power running vertical passing team to kind of a wide zone bit that Cousins did really well in when the Kubiaks were here, as did Dalvin Cook. So I actually think the Genty steam as high as some have him. I think it has merit, and I think he's going to have a really, really good year this year.
I can't remember seeing this here. Let me see. Yeah, 4th straight season, this was the Schefter Post, that these Raiders, 2023, Josh McDaniels, the coach, Jimmy G, the week 1 starter. 24, Antonio Pierce and Minshew. Last year, Pete Carroll and Geno, and now Clint Kubiak. I mean, you want to talk about the antithesis of stable.
Right.
I mean, hopefully, for Clint, rooting for the best for him out there, and that would probably include a good season from Ashton Genty. And then we also had Alec Lewis in studio. Here's him just kind of downloading some intel on Jacob Thomas, who is the James Madison defensive back taking Egan by storm.
He was a high school quarterback in Virginia, and then goes and walks on at James Madison.
Jeez.
Then
that's dope intel for the simulcast.
Bob Chesney, who's now the head coach at UCLA, very respected in college football, puts him on scholarship at James Madison. James Madison was in the college football playoff last year. So, Jacob Thomas manned the defense for this college football playoff team in James Madison. And, yeah, he's blown them away internally. But you guys both know this, too. Asking an undrafted rookie safety to be at the controls of Brian Flores' defense against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, well, that's why you have Metellus.
Right.
I mean, Metellus.
And that's where the conversation, I'd encourage you to podcast it, because whether it's the numbers game, it's manning the defense, and how Metellus' role as a communicator combined with what he actually does best on the field, meshing all of those things. It was a fun 2-segment operation with Alec Lewis in studio.
Yeah, if you like hardcore Minnesota Vikings roster conversation, we went deep diving. I mean, Tavai Thomas this, Jay Ward that, Jacob, Roberts, and Thomas this, Taki Taimani that. But Alec and I, we both talk about that at practice a lot. So it's just kind of putting a bow on it with the opinions and everything. Podcast that beginning at 10 o'clock. The Paul Charchian portion of the equation. Paul offered up some really, really prescient and informative fantasy takes. That was pretty much right out of the gate after 8 minutes of goofing around. Paul Charchian joined about 9:08, 9:10. That went down to the bottom. We think you can get some really good fantasy football information there. It's right atop the podcast once the show is done. Love Covenant on demand, KFAN.com.
And that's a Friday feast in the books, PA.
Thank you for the good times. Everybody have great weekends. May God bless you and all of your families. I next will speak with you tomorrow, 10 a.m. with Muss. For Vikings Football Sunday on a Saturday. Then the faux boom between the Vikings and the Ravens at noon. Then Nordo and I are back together on Monday. Thank you for listening to FM 100.3 KFAN. Program password, it's a Friday. That game's the bomb. And that and the program are coming up around the corner here on The Fan. Bye.
9 to noon.
If it's good news or money, leave a message.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
From the 1-800-ASK-GARY Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by MinnesotaKidsRise.com.